Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the Barclay with me, Jez Davies. I am joined with the sexiest man in Dereham, Morgan Hewitt. Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Why are you laughing?
All the way just for this is sort of like behind the scenes chat for our Beyond the Barclay fans, all five of them. But when I press record, all of our guests and me and you, Morgan, can see the intro. Equally, I can see everyone's reaction to that intro, and you were just like this. You're like, I've heard this song about 100 times, can't hear it anymore. But hey, how are you, Sal? It's been quite a while since I've spoken to you on this format.
Yeah, pretty well, pretty good. Just living the autumn vibes. I've got my nice kind of tanned coat ready to come out because of the sort of the autumnal feel. So I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Got a new car last week, so I've moved into the electric world.
You're like an electric wizard.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's been taking some getting used to, but I've got a co-pilot that keeps telling me I'm going over the speed limit every mile. If I go 1 mile per hour over the speed limit, it tells me off. So it's a lesson there, not to speed, isn't it? But hey. Anyway, I think we've talked long enough, Morgan. I think it's high time that we introduce our guest today, who is Caitlyn. Hi, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, how are you?
Hi, guys. Thank you very much for having me. I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for jumping on and speaking to us. The first thing I want to say to you is congratulations on winning our Rory McConville boot competition.
No, thank you. It's my first pair of boots in my collection, so they will be pride of place.
Are they to hand that you can just grab them quickly and show everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Here we go. They are down here on the shelf.
Oh, amazing!
Look at them.
Yeah, you see them.
We'll make sure we tag Rory in this.
What size are they, out of interest?
12.
What?
12.
Wow. Why are you smirking, Jez?
I didn't think he'd have size 12 feet, to be honest, but he is quite a tall lad, so yeah, maybe that's why. Also, I'm going to put you on the spot as well, Caitlyn, and you said that you had some shirts sort of all the way around your room, so we'd like to see your shirt collection, please. And for our audio listeners on our podcast that can't actually see the video format, Caitlyn is currently sitting in the Norwich City Shrine room.
So we've got Elliot Bennett,
Yep.
Kenny McLean. We've got a Hernandez one that I won in a raffle. Squad sign. There's a Gran Canaria one behind there.
Yep.
We go over here. We've got Jack Stacey.
Oh no, Hernandez as well, like that.
Yeah. And then one to still go on the wall is down here.
Oh wow.
That's brilliant.
That's great.
And then we've also got Jack over here too.
Is Jack a favourite of yours?
Yeah, firm favourite.
Yeah, I was within about, I would say, probably 2 meters on Sunday of him at Portman Road. I was sat in row. I was in row E, so I was quite really close to the front. But he came to take a throw in and didn't look best pleased, bless him. But yeah, no, it's that's good to see. And we won't send Billy Pointer around your house because he'll be nabbing all your shirts off the wall and adding it to his collection of 800 shirts he's got currently.
Oh, I don't know where I'd put that many.
His wife doesn't either.
Yeah, it's interesting, and he don't wash them either, so it's it must be quite the smell. So Caitlyn, thanks. Yeah, so thanks once again. Obviously, thanks for supporting Amber's Army as well, which is the charity that we're choosing to support on the channel. So that's just a bit of breaking news for everyone. But, well, I'll say breaking news by the time this episode goes out. We would have announced it, but Amber's Army is going to be our chosen charity moving forward. So it means a lot that obviously that you've chosen to support that through winning the football boots.
They are a brilliant charity. I believe they're off to the Pride of Britain, aren't they?
Yeah, I hope they win.
Yeah, amazing.
She deserves it. The family deserve it. So I mean, I think what was it? The event at Dereham. What did they raise? Morgan, was it 30k?
Yeah, just over 30k. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, an amazing day as well. We're I don't know when this episode goes out, but maybe it'll go out before or after our release of the sort of day's events. So we covered the day at Durham Town and how good it was, and how good it was to see everyone come out in support of Amber's Army. So yeah, it was fantastic.
It was great. Caitlyn, so I think what we'll do is, if you don't mind, we'll move on to some of the questions that we set you. So if I start, if that's okay, Morgan.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
On a tradition, isn't it, that I tend to go first. So what first drew you to Norwich City, and how long have you been a supporter?
What first drew me is family, Norwich born and bred, my dad, my brother, my granddad, all of my family are Norwich fans. And it was just natural that you supported your local team. So that is what drew me to the club, the beloved yellow and green. And it was just going as a kid. And it started more by watching my dad play football. So your Sunday league football, which then kind of turned into the love for football and then the love for Norwich. So
who did your dad play for?
He played for Lower Barclay.
They're pretty good. They always get Durham Town in the senior final cup at Carrow Road, and they always beat Durham Town. So
I can always remember going to Kirkley and Pakefield for some reason. That's always a team that would stick in my mind, and Alsham actually.
Okay, interesting. And so I mean, is there sort of any like standout memories from those early days? Can you remember your first game?
Do you know what? I actually can't remember the first one. I've got pictures of me when I was really tiny, actually sitting in one of the lounges with my brother, but I have no idea what it was for or why we were there. But yeah, it was cemented at an early age that yellow and green was the way to go.
Good. Morgan, I think that pretty much moves us quite nicely on to the next question, sir.
So what does being a season ticket holder in the Lower Barclay mean to you personally? I'm assuming that you're a season ticket holder in the Lower Barclay, and it wasn't just coincidental that Jez came up with that question like a psychic.
No, he's not psychic. I did tell him.
Good.
It's a really great place to be. Obviously, you get to know everyone. A big shout out to probably my football big sister Emma. She has had her ticket longer than I have been alive, and we've just got to know each other from being at football. And then my dad and my stepmom stand behind me. My uncle, my auntie, my cousins, they all come. So it is a bit of a family affair, and just going with the friends and the community. Obviously, I'm a bit biased in terms of where the best atmosphere is in the ground, but yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. Apart from the fact we have to stand, and I'm really short, so I do always struggle with that a little bit.
where do you stand now in terms of because obviously as you've got sometimes I sit on the far left of the stand on the far left of the Lower Barclay. If you face it, say if you're facing it. You've the hotel on your right. So where are you stood?
So I'm the E block, so I'm closer to the hotel side.
Okay.
I'm kind of just above the top of the stairwell. If you're a level alongside it. So and I'll call him out. We do have a gentleman who stands in front of me. His name is Sam. We call him 7 foot Sam because no word of a lie. That is. And he'll then wear Doc Martens that are like this, and then a bobble hat, and I'm like, I can't see.
You need to borrow Rory McConville's football boots that you got now. I'll add a few more inches with the studs, won't it? So that might help.
I do always joke and say I should stand on the seat, but unfortunately I can't get away with that anymore.
So you tried that before, have you?
back in the day.
Can you not take one of those? Can you not just go? Can you not just go? There is the range on the Riverside shopping centre, isn't there? I haven't just dreamed that. There is
We'll get a little step stool.
Yeah, like one of those little step stools from the range, and
or you could ask. Did you say 7 foot Steve?
Sam.
You could ask him to put like you could just get like a papoose and sit on the sort of in the papoose, and he could stand on the side.
It's like one of the kids' things that you
papoose.
I've never heard the word papoose in my life, but I knew I'd hear it from you, Morgan. Wordsmith.
I just love the word. It's an amazing word.
It might be my new favourite best word. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, given you're sort of close to the rival fans, do you ever give them any stick?
Yes.
So diplomatic. Care to elaborate?
It's just part and parcel of being in the Barclay, I think, isn't it? It's kind of a rite of passage. Yeah, I mean, if it's not them, it's the ref. So you've got to pick your battle.
Yeah, I think we had quite a good one the other week, didn't we? He was coming up with some strange old calls. I mean, in terms of your match day journey, Caitlyn, do you go to anywhere before the game? So any pubs or anything around the ground, or is it just straight to the ground?
No, it's usually a whole day is made of it. Leave early in the morning, get down the pub. It is usually the Queen of Iceni. Usually in there, probably about 11:30, 12. Okay. And yeah, just catch up, socialise, obviously have a few drinks depending on who's driving. And then just make it to the ground. Obviously, I'm very fortunate to be able to use the Lion and Castle, so can get in there before the game. And then I like to go up and generally watch the warm up and everything before the main event.
Of course. I mean, so you'll remember, obviously, I'm just looking back from our recent history, the Ipswich playoff semi-final. You were so close to the action there in that second half when Nathan Redmond scored and then Houlihan scored the penalty as well. It must have been so good down there. Did you actually get on the pitch as well at that point? Didn't
get on the pitch, no. I think I was too scared of the horses at the time. When you heard them like rumble through, like the whole ground like shook. But yeah, just the atmosphere was just insane. And I do really miss days like that. And it's what you live for as a Norwich fan, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's as bad a time as we're currently going through, and we try not to talk about that too much on this podcast. We try and relive those memories of old, and for me, I look back at that and with a sense of pride, with a sense of happiness, I guess, and it makes me happy to think about that. Like, I forget what's going on at the moment because it's early doors. Like, things might improve, things might not, but so what? We've got all of our memories from the past. No one will ever be able to replicate what we did that day against Ipswich, and then go on and win against Middlesbrough in the fashion that we did. So, I'm really passionate about that as well. So, Caitlyn, is there any routine sort of post match, or is it just straight home? Or do you go to any food outlets?
It does depend. Depends on the result normally, but sometimes there'll be a few drinks after with some friends, or it will just literally just be getting in the car, listening to Canary Call on the way home.
Brilliant. Okay, so perhaps moving on. So you are on the supporters panel, or the chair of the supporters panel. So perhaps just talk to us a little bit about that, and what your main goals and priorities within that role.
So I've been on the panel. This is my second season. So last season was the first one where I was a panel member, and there were quite a few topics that were tackled last season. In particular, kind of like the introduction and how digital ticketing was going to be, tackled. The buybacks, kind of that nutshell. And then there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and I think for me, as much as obviously football to me you like bleed yellow and green, it's really quite interesting to see it from a club perspective, in the sense of they are a business, and actually all of the stuff that does go on behind the scenes, I think we just take for granted, or as fans we can get upset or moan about, or which we're fully entitled to do. You pay good money to attend these games, but seeing it from a different lens is something that I hadn't appreciated before, and just wanting to be a voice for everyone where possible is so important. And after feedback and things last season, I mean, one of the proudest moments was the Celebration of Life fixture. For me, that was everything at the start of the year. And personal to me as well, as it featured my granddad. So it was just so lovely being able to see those sorts of things come for tuition, as in there was discussions about it and then you see it actually happen, and it was beautiful. So being able to be a part of that in a slightly different way to normal, it meant even more. And then I guess this going into this season, the former chair Michelle decided to step down. She did an absolutely incredible job, and she kind of nudged me and said, I think you'd be fantastic. I think it'd be worth you having a shot this season. So I put my name in the hat, and I don't know whether it was fortunately or unfortunately, but nobody else wanted the role, so here I am. So I was chairwoman this season, and already obviously with recent things that have come to light, it's going to be very interesting to try and have a voice for everybody. And I just want to be able to be that vocal point for anyone and everyone.
That's amazing. Yeah,
you've got a storm. You've got a storm to weather, Caitlyn. Me and Jez, we don't have that worry. We just talk to fans. We're like this. See you later. No, we're not. But I mean, in terms of anyone like in the future as well, like how can someone get involved in becoming part of the supporters group, fan group? I mean, I actually don't know sort of where you sit and how to get involved, and if you could help signpost that right now for others, that would be really useful.
Absolutely. So it's something that obviously the club do arrange. The panel is made up of 12 members, or up to 12 members. It's not always completely full. 6 of which are from fan supporter groups. So at the moment we have individuals from the likes of Forces to Canaries, from the Canaries Trust, from Her Game 2, from the women's football, Capital Canaries, and I'm on the spot here. This is really bad, isn't it? So there's the fan groups that come in with a designated individual, and then the other 6 are done by public vote. So it was actually 2 seasons ago, the club went out and said, we're electing panel members, kind of like put your name in the hat, putting in a description why you want to be involved. It then got shortlisted behind the scenes, and then it went out to fan vote. So actually 6 of us that are on the panel now are on there because people voted for us to be on there from our bios. And we do have a really wide range of people on the panel, whereby we all sit in different places, or casual versus overseas fan versus season ticket holder fan, home and away. There is a real mixture to try and get that voice for everybody.
Yeah,
it's Killian on the panel.
So no, but he has been. I think he's been on there before, because you're only able to have a certain long tenure before you obviously have to step in, and it changes to obviously give fresh faces and fresh viewpoints. So yes, he has been on there before, and he did kind of give me the nod when he saw I was on there to say, like, you'll really enjoy it. So yeah, no, it is lovely.
No, definitely. I mean, obviously I saw Killian on Sunday. Actually, he got me the ticket through Switch, which I don't know if I could thank him or curse him, really, given the result. But I think he's brilliant, and his commitment home and away and to the games, and what a great voice and person to have, not only involved with our project here, but also that he must have been great on the supporters panel as well.
Oh, absolutely incredible. And he's someone that I wish I could go to all home and away, and sometimes I just don't know how he does it. To keep smiling and keep turning up, and I mean, to be able to organise his own diary around that must be a logistical nightmare. So, my hat is taken off to him.
Well, Jez is providing with a PA now, haven't you, Jez, with Nick? So he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly that. But no, I think as well as that is the other point I was going to raise, and obviously Morgan raised it earlier, with the current issues, shall we say, with the River End. The way I'm going to phrase this question is: have you had more contact from fans? Have the fans contacted you about it over the last week since that news broke? And how is that something you as a panel deal with? Or is it something you deal with, or is it something that the club deal with?
Oh, no, it's absolutely something we deal with and something we feed back and we voice. And what I would caveat and say is we have tried to feed back a lot before this all came to light too, to try and make it better. Doesn't always mean that everything gets listened to. Ultimately, it's not our decision what gets put out. We can only feed back on what we see. Whether it gets implemented is something else. But yes, we've had an influx of, obviously, people raise issues, upset, emotion. It's really raw right now, and I get it, because if I was now told to move my seat from the Barclay, where you make all these memories and community and everything, it's really horrible. And I think it's taking that viewpoint, and I know it's a real cliche line to say, but it's that short-term pain for a long-term gain. As fans, we've been craving this expansion and investment and time and money into our beloved club, and it's here, and I'm hoping that everyone will be able to get the answers that they need on the question and answer night next week. I will be in attendance with some panel members to just kind of be there and see what we can take to our next meeting. So we have 4 a season, and then there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes all the time, of different queries, questions, and things being raised. If we can deal with things in the moment, then we will.
I hope you've got a good helmet to wear, Caitlyn.
I'm more concerned about what my ringtone is, like, for the people at the club when they see me messaging them. Just this like danger ringtone.
The Darth Vader sort of. Yeah. So no, I think for me, I don't sit in the River End, so it's easy for me to say. I can see why people are upset. I think it's amplified by the fact that the team aren't playing very well at the moment. So I think had we been on a run of results where we've been winning, I do wonder whether there would have been this type of reaction. I know there would have been a reaction because people are obviously understandably annoyed. But I also think, as well as that, there's positives. I think there's a lot of away fans at other grounds, Kenilworth Road, Loftus Road, the old Brentford ground. I'm trying to think of other ones where I've sat behind the goal, Charlton. Loads of grounds I've been to where the fans sit behind the goal, and it's not an issue. Like, people are saying, well, it's going to be an issue because the away fans are going to be behind the goal and start making funny face and all of it. It's not an issue. And also, because we've now got the Beyond the Barclay, we've got the Barclay stand. I say that too many times, that's why I said that. Because we've got the Barclay stand. If we're adding fans directly to the left, surely that's increasing the amount of fans that might actually be influenced to sing. Does that make sense? So it might be actually a bigger proportion of fans that actually get involved and sing. And I don't know, I just think sometimes change is a horrible thing, but sometimes it can be for the good. And Caitlyn, you raised an excellent point. We want to move forward as a club. Yeah. This move does move us forward. I just hope and pray, and apologies to anyone that's listening that might be offended by this, because, and it's, if you are, I agree with I know what you're going through. Well, I don't know what you're going through because I sit in the Upper Barclay, but I can see where you're coming from. But there is positives. I think I spent about 2 minutes when I probably should have spent 20 seconds making that point. Apologies.
Yeah, just waffling on. But I mean, the thing is now we've just lost 2 of our 5 listeners because of you. So thanks, Jez. Where are we going to pick those up from again? Huh?
Yeah, this is true.
took nearly a whole year to get those 5.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we're moving swiftly on because we probably should.
What do you enjoy most about taking on voluntary roles within the club community?
I guess it's just the buzz that you get from doing something that's like feel good. I guess obviously the role on the panel is something that is completely voluntary. We're not kind of getting anything off the back of that, other than just a different lens as a fan. I've also done fundraising for the CSF. So I did the coastal walk last year.
Oh yeah.
I only did the half marathon though. I couldn't quite stretch to the full marathon. And I've done a walk this year for the Epilepsy Society. So just kind of that fundraising thing I do really enjoy doing. Also for a cancer charity, Little Lift, if you've ever heard of them, in local to Norwich too. So yeah, it's just that buzz that you get off of it. And again, like what you guys are doing with Amber's Army, just that awareness piece is something that's precious on its own. So it's really important to shout about all the great work these people do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that since doing this podcast, since I've been involved in this podcast, Jez has been doing it for longer than I have been involved. It's definitely opened my eyes to just how important it is to help signpost stuff as part of. I mean, me and Jez have talked about this quite a lot, but like, we all have to remember that Norfolk is a rural community that's out of the way. And like, I've gone to job fairs and I've talked to like these guys. So Every Move, Active Norfolk, that form a part of Active Norfolk, and they say the same thing. It's tough having a rural community. It's not easy to have stuff, to access certain things that it might be. I don't know, if you're in Nottingham or you're in Leeds or in Manchester, it's harder here. And I think that stuff like what the CSF do and what you do, Caitlyn, and even to an extent what Jez does with this podcast, I hope that it makes a difference to certain people. I mean, you show people, like the Daniel Farker metaphor, you can show them the door, they've got to be the ones to walk through it. But if there isn't anyone to show them that door, so where do they go? So I think it's a really important part of this rural community that we find ourselves in. And this is why I think the club is people are so passionate about Norwich, because it's the only club in that area to Leicester or to Ipswich. It's a massive deal to a lot of people, and it means so much to a lot of people as well.
100%. And I think the Healthy Fans initiative that's launched as well is just absolutely incredible. The work that's going on behind the scenes to launch that and make it a success. And even if it only helps one person every match day, that's helping one person at every match day, which is fantastic.
Yeah, great. I think we've talked at length about well, we haven't actually we about our current form, and we did, because we try and highlight the positive things the club does, the positive things that they bring to their community. And Morgan's covered it, so I'm not going to go through it again. But it's Community Sports Foundation, the projects that you've just mentioned as well, Caitlyn. And for me, that's what we should be celebrating. Yes, of course, we all want to see the club play well on the pitch, and that we'd all love to see them a regular stay in the Premier League, like a Brighton or a Bournemouth. Look at Bournemouth at the moment, second in the, or they were second in the league. I don't know if they still are, but we all want to see that. But I'm really proud of what the club do off the pitch as well, because there's a lot of clubs that either don't or don't do it as well as what Norwich do.
Agreed.
Yeah. And like the mental health video that went round a couple of seasons ago, and the talking to people that you've stood next to for 10 years, it's fantastic. And obviously with Mental Health Awareness Day approaching this week, I think it's at the end of the week, what a time to just shout about the good that we do.
Yeah, no, completely agree. So just touching on because we have already talked about the atmosphere, but let's talk about it again. So, how would you describe the atmosphere at Norwich, and in particular in the Barclay?
On a good day, it's incredible. At the moment, maybe we won't touch upon it. However, I am someone that is very pro the drum. I love the drum. I love the atmosphere that it does bring on its good day. Although I actually did prefer it when it was near me in the E block, which might be a bit controversial now that it's moved to C block, I think. But again, watch this space. I think it'll be interesting to see whether they decide to stay there or whether they decide to move elsewhere to create different atmospheres. So, but
at one point, sorry to interrupt. At one point, was he behind the scoreboard pole? Yeah, I'm sure
no, that was one game. I think it was Coventry, but I think that was someone that the club asked to drum on a platform, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And
it sounds like a Slipknot concert.
I mean, whoever was drumming, like, well done, but it didn't land that great.
Yeah, it was just bizarre because I think for some reason he wasn't allowed to. I mean, I don't know whether this is true, but because the reason he was stood behind that pole was because he didn't have view on the pitch, so he's like coming away, and he's just got this massive pole in front of him.
Was it the big screen?
Yeah, he's behind that. Yeah, but it was like there's a massive pole, isn't there? Like, I'm not talking about Robert Lewandowski either when I say massive pole, but it's crazy. But anyway, that was a massive whatever the word is. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I as I say, I sit in the Upper Barclay, so I can see it all. I can see the banter between the Snake Pit and I sit in the A block, so I'm kind of directly looking. I always say that obviously I'm making sure Killian behaves himself in the Snake Pit because I can see directly down to where he sits. But yeah, it's such a great venue, and when the good times are rolling, it rivals a lot of places. And there's a lot of fans that I know that have visited Norwich, and they say, what a fantastic venue. And it's good for music now as well, isn't it? Obviously we get a few bands.
Just take that. It's always just take that. They just roll
Elton John. Elton John. Elton John was there, wasn't he? 3 years ago?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Take that played. Well.
Say again, Caitlyn.
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
They come, yeah.
And also take that.
You mentioned Take That yet?
No.
Do you want them back for good?
I want some good football back for good first.
Need to relight your fire, Morgan.
Oh.
I can't think of another one. Never forget where you come from.
Never forget, Morgan.
Never forget. Anyway, so
sorry about this, Caitlyn.
Yeah, this is just general. This is what happens every time. What challenges or opportunities do you see for Norwich City supporters this season? I mean, we've kind of covered it.
I mean, we have. But I guess all I would say, because we do as a panel, anything that comes up, like, we do feed it back. If things aren't right, raise them. All of the little things that have been going on with the digital tickets updating in your wallet, which is like really, really annoying. They have finally found the bug, so that should stop and that should subside now. As I guess it's just, there are going to be challenges, but just persevere with it, and just hopefully it will all be worth it, and we will all be singing at the end of the season, and digital ticketing will be a distant memory.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, Caitlyn, is the club haven't just gone, there's your digital tickets, F off anyone that doesn't want to use it or hasn't got a smartphone, we don't want you. They've said, actually, if you don't want to use it and you haven't got a smartphone, here's your usual season ticket card. You can still use it. It's fine. So I think they've overcome the objections almost. I think, and I think that's a really important thing when you're dealing with a customer issue. I mean, we don't want to talk too much about when we had that gentleman, didn't we, Morgan, that came in and was quite irate about his digital ticket, and hopefully he's fine now. Obviously, we had a Get used.
But I think as well, it is just testament to our fan base, isn't it? We've got such a
Yeah,
diverse range fan base, and you know, it's brilliant because it's a family club, and that's what you want. So yeah, and unfortunately, one size doesn't always fit all. So you've got to figure out
exactly.
a way to support everybody.
100%. I mean, it's working in. I'm going to do it, Jez. You've mentioned gravity before, so I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah,
but I've worked in tech for some time, and so it's always difficult to design for everyone or have something for everyone. It just doesn't work. Like you're always going to get outliers. I think sometimes it's a mindset shift, not so much a technical shift. It's that some people, they're like, oh, not sure I want to have this digital ticket because I've not used it before. It's change, right? And sometimes I'm even like, I don't want to use this AI tool or whatever because I've used it before and it's weird. But use it once, use it twice, you're happy, it works, and then you start getting into the flow of things. My dad's 78 now, and he's constantly on his phone. He's downstairs right now on his phone looking at things he probably shouldn't be looking at. But that's him, and he doesn't care. He'll do it. And I think sometimes it just takes a bit of trust in the process. And I know that's not always easy for some, but at least, like Jez said, that there's alternatives that sort of have been laid out and thought about, and it hasn't just been like, there you go, get on with it. Because I'm sure some clubs out there would probably just quite happily do that and then just see what happens with people. So it's really good that they do care. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the negative kind of cloud that this stuff isn't thought about, and I'm fairly sure it is.
Yeah,
and that's the end of that, really.
Well, Caitlyn, just before we move on to the next question, I was thinking of a question there as Morgan was going. What's the strangest, and you might not be allowed to say, but what's the strangest inquiry that you've ever had on the supporters panel, if you're able to say?
I don't, to be honest, none of them are really that strange. Anything that kind of comes to light for us is important because it matters to someone, right? So, but no, there's sometimes things that you don't even think about, like just, I can't answer that survey properly because there's not a box there for me to tick, or just like really small, insignificant things, but they're not insignificant because they matter to someone. And it's the same old saying, isn't it? Is if you don't know, you don't know. So if nobody knows that you can't tick that box, then it's not going to be fixed. So we haven't come across anything weird and wild, apart from, and she won't mind me saying it, apart from Michelle, she raised that she's upset that there's not a mirror in the ladies' toilets. So that is something that we want to overcome for her.
I'm trying to think if there's one in the Upper Barclay. I'm pretty sure there is one, the Upper Barclay men's, this is in A block. It's not something that I've ever noticed, but maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't. I think we've covered question 7 earlier on. So perhaps we move to question 8, if that's okay. And then obviously we've got Morgan's random question of the week to finish. So I always try and prepare everyone for Morgan's random question of the week because it's a sight to behold. So how do you think the role of women in football, so I'll rephrase that. How do you think the role of women in football fandom has evolved, and what's your own experience as a female supporter?
So I think for me personally, I'm really lucky in the sense that, because we have such a great fan base, I've never personally had any issues being a female fan of football, other than the fact you get well, does your partner like football? And my answer is no, because he doesn't. And you kind of get that whole stigma of like, what, so you do and he doesn't? Like, you kind of get that dynamic shift. And again, like, my football shrine is my shrine. It's nobody else's, It's not like family members, it is mine. But I guess how it's just evolved is so much is more acceptable now. And, you know, the women's team, whether that be, you know, the Norwich women's team or the England women's team, you know, they're doing great things for role model behaviours. You know, I really hope my niece aspires to it and just sees all of these lovely natural women doing something that they adore and that they love. I just think it's really, really important. And I guess for other clubs around, you know, I think it was Bournemouth that put out a video not so long back about like female fans walking home in the dark, and, you know, just sometimes things that people don't necessarily think about. And actually it's a really good platform to do that for. I think it's just going from strength to strength. I will be the first to admit I follow the men's game a lot more heavily than I do the women's game, just from personal preference, time and money, to be perfectly honest. But I do think it's great that it is now a lot more at the forefront than what it used to be.
It's funny because like one of our team, Izzy Basie Fisher, she is the other, the complete reverse of you, Caitlyn, as in she has no idea about the men's team whatsoever, but is like fully involved in the women's team and goes to follow them pretty much every week at the Nest. You know, does our All in Yellow podcast, and is a real testament to the team. And, you know, it's great that me and Jez kind of try and straddle both. Again, like Jez lives outside of Norfolk, and, you know, it's not always possible for us to do both, but we've got colleagues following both, so we kind of it's great. It's really good,
especially when, you know, you go and watch the men's team roll over and die against Ipswich, and then an hour later you see that Norwich women have won 4-0.
I know, it's incredible.
And you think, yeah, great. I mean, you know, obviously you sort of really down about that, but then actually it's a nice feeling to see that actually there is a part of the club. And obviously Norwich men's might change, but at the moment Norwich women's are unstoppable. They're beaten to. They're actually playing Stevenage in the next round of the cup, Morgan.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm in Germany, so I can't go and watch it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's
so which is a real shame, but that'll be a decent game. Stevenage are a good side. So but no, I think you're right, Caitlin. I think it's you know, I think back to when my mum was first went in the 70s or the 80s as a season ticket holder, and how that must have been then compared to what it is today. And I think it's a lot more. I don't want to say a lot more because that's the wrong way of phrasing it, but it should be socially acceptable. It's a game for all, you know, male, female, young, old, whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, why should people go and feel uncomfortable if they're different? Do you know what I mean? It's not even different, is it?
But they shouldn't. As simple as they shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable. And, you know, we are, like we've said throughout this whole thing, you know, we're a community club, you know, we're a loyal fan base, and, you know, it rings true. It absolutely does. I think we are really, really fortunate as a fan base to all have each other.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's a really nice place to hand over to Morgan, the random question of the week. But just before we do, thank you so much, Caitlin, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Who knew entering the Amber's army? Competition would have landed me here.
Yeah, there we are. And keep in touch. It'd be good to hear about your journey with the supporters panel as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And for anyone, please do get in contact and raise whatever you would like to.
Yeah, 100%. Right, Morgan, over to you for the real reason that Caitlin is here. It's the random question of the week.
I feel like I haven't done this for ages. It was only last week because we don't record these well in advance. Random question of the week. That's actually pretty good. I like how that turned out this time around.
Good.
So Caitlin, obviously one of our biggest fans is Hugh Jackman. Me and Jez have tried to get him on a few times, but no response. So if you're watching this, Hugh, you know where to find us. But I wouldn't say he's won a day in the life of Caitlyn Winsor-Gray. So what are you and Hugh What are you going to get up to? Where are you going to go? What are you going to see? What are you going to do? What are you going to eat?
Well,
Going to the Waffle House.
Huh?
Pardon?
Absolutely going to the Waffle House.
Oh,
that is somewhere he has been quite a few times, I think, with his mum. So we definitely have to go there.
So I'm just, because I'm someone who likes a bit of linearity in their life, because I'm slightly odd in that way. Are we talking breakfast waffles, or what are we saying? Because
all of them. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Okay. It's your day out. It's a day in your life.
Oh, I mean, I don't go there every day.
Okay.
Oh God, a day in my life that he's got to go through.
He's got to not go through experience. You make it sound like it's a chore. That's not the point of this.
I think it would be for him.
Sorry to interrupt here. This is essentially what you're saying here, Morgan, is it's almost like a date day, isn't it? Where would you take him? I guess. Well, obviously we've done the Waffle House. Are you doing any sort of entertainment venues?
I mean, he's got to come to Carrow Road, doesn't he? Like, that's a must.
Yeah. Hang on. Jez just said entertainment, so.
But it will be entertaining. And I'd want to know about his dream, which is to score against Wrexham playing for us. And I want to know if that is going to happen in January.
Yeah, it could well be. That's one of my match picks. It was my match pick, the Wrexham game. So yes, yeah. So
I'll see you there.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to because we've I don't know if you listened to our Wayne Jones episode with Wayne Jones, obviously the Wrexham fan, who is also the landlord at the Turf, but hoping to meet up with him as well, which would be nice to finally meet him as well. So, but
you name dropping, Jez, in a really subtle way. You're like this. You're doing a Brent. You're doing a Brent again. That stance as well.
I'm episode dropping. Is what I'm doing. Plug in. What else, Caitlin? Was that it? What about for the soiree of the evening?
Go for a nice rum and coke somewhere. I have a bar in the bottom of my garden called the Larry Canary.
Ooh.
Called what?
Is that an open invite?
The Larry Canary.
Oh, that's brilliant.
We can finish up in there with a rum and coke.
What's your favourite rum?
Dead Man's Fingers.
Yeah. No, that is good. It's good stuff. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Kate. I think we won't put you for any more Hugh Jackman questions. Don't worry. But just before we finish, is there anyone you want to give a little shout out to, or?
Well, to the entirety of the supporters panel, because we're going to be in for a really intense but good season. A shout out to just all my football family. So I've shouted out Emma, obviously my dad, my stepmom, just everyone that comes along, and to Michael, who I go to the pub with all the time. Just thank you for being my football family.
Lovely. Fantastic. Thank you.
So everyone else, thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe on our YouTube channel for more great content. You can follow us on all of our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram and X, and we are, of course, proudly supported by Masterseal and Pye Design. I've been Jez Davies.
I've been Morgan Hewitt.
I've been Caitlin.
Thanks, everyone.